Republican representative from California, Tom McClintock, went on C-SPAN and made some absurd arguments against raising the minimum wage.
Mitt Romney, former governor of Massachusetts, is considering a third bid for the White House. He has said he supports raising the minimum wage. Do you agree?
Only if you want to rip the first ladder, or the first rung in the ladder of opportunity for teenagers, for minorities, for people who are trying to get into the job market for their first job. The minimum wage doesn't support a family. We all know that. It's not supposed to support a family. The minimum wage is that first job when you have no skills, no experience, no working history. That's how you get into the job market. That's how you develop that experience, develop that work record, get your first raise, then your next raise, then your promotion. That's the first rung of opportunity. If your labor as an unskilled person just entering the workforce is worth, say, $7 an hour at a job, and the minimum wage is $10, you have just been made permanently unemployable. That first rung of the economic ladder has been ripped out, and you can't get on it. That is a tragedy. And if Mitt Romney is supporting that, then I think it would be a terrible mistake for the party to renominate him or for the country to elect him.
Terrible mistake to raise the minimum wage. What a deep thinker we have here. So first of all, everything he said is just false. What do you mean? I mean, we're talking about the minimum wage only goes to people who are doing entry-level jobs. It's the first rung on the economic ladder. Of course, it makes perfect sense. Interesting. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the real number. 87% of minimum wage workers are over the age of 20. You see, it's not 1968 anymore, buddy. Today, because of the economy and because of systemic factors, we have plenty of people who are working full-time jobs, and they are minimum wage jobs, and they're trying to support a family on that. And this idea that, like, well, what do you mean? They should just work their way up. Well, some people will, and some people won't. They're all essentially trying to do that, but not everybody can get the promotion. Not everybody could be a boss. They don't have an answer for that criticism. The criticism of, we are always going to need people in an economy to do those jobs. So then the question becomes, well, do we pay them enough money to survive, or do we not? Look, if it was the case that everybody who worked the minimum wage, none of them were full-time workers and they were all teenagers, that's a different conversation to be had. But that's not the reality. The reality is a lot of these jobs are permanent jobs for people. No matter how hard they try, they'll never be able to get out of those jobs. So you should pay them enough money to survive. We have over 10 million working poor people in the United States of America. The term working poor is a tragedy in and of itself. It's a disgusting term and a disgusting concept in and of itself. The idea that anybody should work a full-time job and not make enough money just to pay for their basic necessities. I mean, that shows you that that's not an individual failure. That's not a moral problem with one person. What that is that's a systemic failure. If we really paid these people by their productivity, so if you paid them by how much they create in wealth, it's over $20 an hour. Again, they don't understand that the minimum wage today is artificially low. And then also, if you just kept the wage equal to what it was in the late 1960s, today it would be over $10 an hour. So in essence, we have a minimum wage today that is less than what it was in the late 1960s, which shows you how out of bounds we've gotten here.